Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is human reproduction. So let us understand what is reproduction. Reproduction is a process by which living things give birth to a new generation of organisms of the same kind. The importance of reproduction. Why is reproduction important? Reproduction is important because without it, species would not survive over time. Individuals must reproduce to ensure that they will continue on over generations of time. We have two types of reproduction. First one is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means the reproduction in which offsprings are produced by a single parent without the union of sex cells. We are going to learn about them in detail. It's called asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The reproduction in organisms by the union of male and female sex cells, that is the male and the female sex cells, they are called as gametes. They are known as sexual reproduction. Now we are just going to learn about the types of asexual reproduction. They are fission or binary fission, fragmentation, budding, regeneration, vegetative propagation that we have done already, and spore formation. So let us understand the first process, that is binary fission. In binary fission, the single cell divides into half. A few organisms that divide by binary fission are bacteria and amoeba. In amoeba, cell division or splitting of cells can take place in any plane. It occurs in only one axis, in particular axis. For example, leishmania, which causes color ulcer in humans, divides longitudinally. Alright, so just understand this. In binary fission, the single cell divides into halves. A few organisms that divide by binary fission are bacteria and amoeba. This cell divides in a particular axis, in the middle axis, and splits into two new cells. Next one is fragmentation. Fragmentation occurs in multicellular organisms when the body of organism breaks into two or more parts, each of which will form a new organism. So look at this. You have planaria over here. This is an example of planaria. So what happens? The body of organisms breaks into two or more or several parts. So this form of reproduction is common in flatworms, marine worms, and echinoderms like starfish. With worms, and new individuals may form when the worm gets long, that is simple, falls apart, forming new organisms. Next one is budding. It is seen in certain fungi and multicellular organisms In budding, the parent cell or body cells gives a lateral outgrowth. So what happens is the nucleus divides and one of the daughter nuclei passes into the daughter cells. Over here, the bud grows in size while being attached to the parent's plant, to the parent's body. If then gets separated from the parent by formation of a wall, it then falls off and germinates into a new individual. The best example would be Hydra. So, a parent plant, external outgrowth, after fully grown, it detaches itself from the parent plant, falls in the ground, and it starts growing. This is budding. And spore formation in rhizopus or in braid, we can get that also. The thread-like structure that develop on the braid are hypi of a braid mold, also known as rhizopus. You can try this experiment at home also. On the other hand, the tiny blob on a stick or on a stick structure like involved in reproduction. The blobs are sporangia. You keep the braid like this for a few days and expose it. Alright? Put drop of water to the braid and leave it over there. You will get fungus, and after that fungus you will get a blob like structure. These blobs are sporangia, which contain cells or spores that can develop into new rhizopus individuals. The spores are covered by thick walls that protect them until they come into contact with another moist surface and can begin to grow. So children, this is all we'll be learning for today.